Welcome back to another preview of the big game Saturday night. Bill Landis, Doug Landreese, Ari Wasserman. Top 10 matchup at Ohio Stadium. People are fired up. The town is buzzing. College football. All they can talk about is Ohio State, Nebraska, two traditional powers in the Big Ten. Top 10 matchup. Could this be a preview of the Big Ten championship game in early December? Ari, how huge? What are you feeling here, the buzz here in town?
It's overwhelming, really. Overwhelmingly dead. I just think that Ohio State, maybe if they were undefeated or Nebraska was undefeated, people would be looking at this game a little bit differently. But I think that the fact is that Nebraska is technically a top 10 team, but they're coming off of a loss. Ohio State's been underwhelming the last few weeks. I think it's, two teams that are technically ranked high but aren't that exciting at the moment. And I think that people might just be under the fact that Nebraska might be a little bit overranked, just because they survived the first 6 weeks of the season without really facing a huge test, and they dropped their first major test. It kind of takes the luster a little bit off the game.
I feel like Nebraska actually legitimized itself in the loss. That people are thinking more highly of Nebraska because they took Wisconsin to overtime, even though they lost to Wisconsin. Is Nebraska just not that good? You're the voter. Where did you vote Nebraska this week, and is it because you can't find other teams to vote for?
Yeah, I think I might have had them ninth where they are, and it's exactly that. I don't know who to put ahead of them. There's like a large group of teams, and you can even maybe include Ohio State in it a little bit. It's like, okay, they shouldn't be that high. Tell me who should be ranked ahead of them, and there's no valid argument because there's not that many undefeated teams left. All the one-loss teams lost their first real test. I think there's not a lot of buzz because Ohio State might lose. And usually when there's a big game, Ohio State is still pretty heavily, and they're heavily favored in this one. But it's there's a big game, there's a lot of anticipation because you think in the end Ohio State's going to win and it's going to be an awesome environment. I think it's down just a smidge because Ohio State, even though Nebraska's not that good, can still lose.
That's interesting. I was going to say I thought maybe it was down because I don't think people think Nebraska is as good as they might actually be. That everyone was fired up for Oklahoma because people thought Oklahoma was a playoff team coming into this year. I'm not so sure that Nebraska is not better than Oklahoma. Yeah. Oklahoma is half a team, basically. This will be a better game than I think people are. It probably actually should have more legit buzz than it does. Not because it's two unbelievable teams, but it's two very good teams that I think are going to be competitive. Ari, Bill, Doug, see you Saturday.